There we go. Another one. Get out of there. Another nice one. Okay, full disclaimer, this is a fishing video, but yes, it's true. I am selling the Sexy Vexy. The Sexy Vexy is in fact for sale. I'm gonna give you a quick walk around, tell you why, and just be very upfront. Show you the whole boat, show you how I lay it out, show you what it comes with. If you're interested in it, I'll tell you where to contact and who to contact. But yeah, the Sexy Vexy is for sale, and it's all good things. All right, because it's a little windy and it's just, I feel like it's easier this way, we're gonna go mobile and I'm gonna give you all the details. Here we go. Ready? Boom. We're mobile. Okay, we'll go wide. Yeah, so first and foremost, the Sexy Vexy is for sale, not because I don't like it, not because it's broken, not because there's anything wrong with it. This boat is 1 year old. It's totally tricked out. It's the most competitive boat I've ever owned, and it's dialed. Like, I'm honestly sad to see it go, but I have a different Vexus on order. And the only reason I'm getting rid of this boat and going to a different Vexus is because I have an amazing business relationship with the fine folks at InTune Marine and the fine folks at Vexus. And every year I do get the opportunity to pop into a new boat, and the one I've been running for the year then goes, which is sad because, you know, you find, you know, you spend enough time with anything and you kind of really form a connection and just a comfortability in it. And this is, you know, this is my boat, you know? So I'm sad to say that it's for sale, but I'm excited to whoever gets this fully rigged fishing machine. I'll walk you through it. The Sexy Vexy is an AVX 1980 Vexus aluminum boat. Really cool. It's an aluminum boat on the outside, but fiberglass infused on the inside. So even though it's an aluminum boat, it kind of rides like a glass boat, and it's extremely unique. You can cut through waves and zig and zag, and beyond that, it handles big water really well. If you can kind of see, it doesn't have like, I guess maybe like a modified V or a bass tracker type front. It has a deeper hole right here, and this does really great on big water. And you can sneak into really small water too. That's kind of the beauty of this boat, is I'm not afraid to go to Mille Lacs, but I'm also not afraid to get in 6 inches water and run up a creek. So that's kind of where I really fell in love with at least the 1980. I love this model. I love the way this runs. Like I said, it's the best of both worlds. It's a big boat. It has a big deck, but it's small enough to get back into really sneaky area. So I'll jump inside and show you kind of how I have it laid out and talk to you kind of about some of the other features. And it comes as is. It comes rigged up. This is an Ultrex on the front, 2 Helix 10s up here. It doesn't come with the Mega Live, but it comes with the 360. And on my next boat, I'm gonna rig it the exact same way. Stomp pads right here for the Raptors. Ultrex is extremely dialed, especially with the 360 up front. Big front deck. It's got rod buckles, 3 compartments. You can fish 2 or 3 people up in the front deck very comfortably. As we move back to the right, this is where I keep all my plastics. I got them just in different gallon bags, and this is just where I keep basically soft baits. Behind that is the cooler. It's really nice to have a cooler on deck. Just got a bunch of waters and my lunch in there. From there on the left side is a ginormous rod locker. I think you can fit up to 8-foot rods in here. I got them totally packed in. I have so many rods that I shove in this all the time. If you have rod slicks, you can really get like 3 or 4 rods in each one of those tubes. The best part about this too is they all lock. So whether I'm staying at a hotel, Airbnb, or just in my front yard, I just love the fact that all my stuff is secure and locked down. Middle compartment, this is where I keep all the tackle and all the line I need for basically anywhere I go, everything I do. I got walleye baits in here, I got crappie baits, obviously a ton of bass baits, day bag stuff, some tools, some extra line up front. It's just a really nice giant compartment that I can shove everything in, be extremely organized, and this is where all the terminal and hard baits stay. Right back here, it's a nice little step. I keep a bunch of tools, hook sharpeners, scissors, pliers. This is just a little day box here. Keep a little speaker down in there, or sandwich, or anything else. Move to the left, kind of your co-angler side, your partner side. Keep a bunch of rods right here. It's got a nice belt buckle, strap it all in. They do make models that come with 3 seats. I've always liked the 2-seat approach with a box in the middle. It's easy to get from the front to the back of the boat. It's a nice step here, and also it's another locking waterproof compartment that you can chuck anything in. I just keep a bunch of shades and gloves and some random baits and the keys, my wallet, phone, dialed. I come to the cockpit here. Comes with 2 Humminbird Helix 12s, and they're all talking to each other. InTune rigged this whole boat, so it's extremely dialed. There's a lot going on here, from the 2 Helixes up front, the Ultrex, the 360, 2 Helixes here, all the way back to the Raptors. Everything is talking to each other. Everything's linked. On that, a beautiful Procise Outdoors mount. Handles great in big water. Cockpit's very comfortable. Here's your horn, your bilge, your aerator. It has a hot foot down underneath it, which is really nice. People think it's just for looks, or it's just to be cool to have a gas pedal in your boat. What it really helps with is if I'm in big water and there's huge waves and I'm kind of revving it at certain points to get through other waves so I don't spear another wave, I don't have to be down here and kind of manually playing with the throttle. I can keep both hands on the wheel at the same time, boom, boom, and kind of jump in between the frequency of waves and really have much more control over the boat. 2 hands are always on the wheel. From there we go back. Beautiful live well. It's got a divider in the middle. You could take it out, especially if you're a multi-species guy and you want to pack walleyes or pike or anything else in there and you don't want them split. You can take it out. I like to have it split. I fish a lot of bass derbies. And it's just nice, you know, to have 2 separate live wells in case I'm doing some culling. From there we go in the back. 2 giant containers. All these containers are waterproof tight as well. This boat gets rained on. I fish right through the rain and everything stays dry in here. Giant containers in the back. I've just got a bunch of different gear, from little power boxes to tools to towels to a bunch of different life jackets, some ropes. On the other side, same type of deal. I keep my rain gear in here. Keep usually a bunch of other blackfish clothing, some secret baits, a bunch of different life jackets, some filming gear. Basically just kind of day stuff that's not fishing tackle. In the back, everything is dialed and rigged in by InTune Marine. I did not do this. I wish I could take credit for this work. It has 4 batteries in the back. That's the cranking, and it runs all the graphs and everything. The 2 Raptor pumps. I'm in Coda Precision onboard charger. 3 batteries here for the 36-volt system that runs the trolling motor up front. This back compartment is so rigged out and so dialed in. InTune Marine has everything on 2 switches back here. Boat and Raptors, power's off, power's on. The graphs, power's off, power's on. Keeps a bunch of clean power running to all your stuff, and then you can shut it down when you're charging it in the middle of the night. So much room for a couple people to be fishing the back, or your co-angler. I just love the single console, because if I hook a big fish, I can operate from back here to the back of the boat if I'm fighting a big fish. It'd be a great multi-species boat too. You could fish a lot of big pike and muskies and crappies out of it. My pals and I, we fish for everything. Even though we're a bunch of bass bums, we fish for everything. So this boat has been all over, and it's been so good to me. If you guys are interested in this at all, I'll leave my buddy Brian's number here. He works at InTune Marine. He knows all the ins and outs details with the Sexy Vexy. He can give you all the numbers. He can give you all the true specs. I just wanted to give you a quick walk around and let you know the Sexy Vexy is for sale. And if this boat is for you and it fits your price range, it is fully rigged. Comes with everything on it. You're gonna love this boat. One last detail besides the Raptor stomps up front, I've got these throughout the boat. They're just a bunch of Raptor switches. So at any time I can just shoot those Raptors down and you're good to go. Whether you're docking your boat or whether you're pushing in shallow water and you want to be really stealthy and just kind of plug down. It's just, it's so dialed and I love her. So yeah, that's the nitty gritty. The Sexy Vexy is for sale. I know it was a quick run through. If you're interested in this boat at all, please call my buddy Brian. He'll give you all the details. And if you do personally buy this boat and you live somewhere in the Midwest, I'd potentially love to take you out in it. So yeah, call my buddy Brian. The boat is for sale. And now let's go bass. Okay, full disclosure, I have no idea what's going on with the bass kind of in my local area. It's been pretty warm recently. I feel like there's a majority of the bass that have already spawned and they're post-spawn. That's kind of why I got a little swim jig and a frog on. There could be some bass on the bed still. That's why I got a little flipping bait rigged on. There's some wind today and this lake's got some pads, so I might kind of roll that around kind of the edge of the pads, a little spinner bait. And then on my right, just some finesse. I got a little fluke and then an OG wacky rig. So that's just what I'm starting with. I'm sure I'm gonna catch them on totally different stuff if I catch them at all. But main goal is just to kind of get my bearings back in the bass world. I've been on such a walleye kick this spring. I need to get my bass bearings back and just figure out what's going on. Are they post-spawn? Are they spawning? Or is there still a group of fish that are pre-spawn? So let's give them the onions. All right, first bass of the day, wacky rig. Okay, bass could be on the docks. Not a big bass, but it's a bass. Oh, yeah. Get in here. First frog fish of the year. The post spawn is on. Freaking wrecked it. Let's go. It's a freaking beauty. Gorgeous. Let's get this big girl back. Wow. Okay. Yeah. That was just a little tiny spro popping frog, all white. The pads aren't too thick yet, so I just decided to go with the popping frog just because I can kind of work it with those pads so sparse. And yeah, I had a feeling potentially we could catch the first frog fish of the year today, but that was a big fish right out the gate, like second cast the frog. So I think I'm gonna glue the frog in my hand and just make sure that wasn't a fluke. If the frog bite is gone, we are gonna glue this in our hand and we are just gonna lace all day. So All right, let's do it again. There we go, another one. Get out of there. Another nice one. Oh my gosh. 2 casts later. We are gonna throw a frog so the house burns down today. I might put away every other rod. Boom, baby. Another beautiful frog bass. Oh my gosh. I thought it at the house this morning. I was like, if these fish are for sure post-spawn, they might do it on a frog. A shallow frog bite is so good right after they spawn. And I think that's what we stumbled into today. I might rig up a couple more frogs, might rig up a bigger one, a black one, a natural color one. That was, my heart is through the freaking roof. I've loved crappie fishing this spring. I've loved pounding some nice walleyes, good eaters, some big ones too. But nothing gets the heart going like a freaking frog. Whack! There's a lot of lily pads out here to fish. We're gonna do it all day. Swim jig. Good fish. Good fish. All right, there's one on the swim jig. He missed my jig and I threw that wacky right back on him. I wonder if some of these bass are just cruising out here in the flat. That was cool. Whack. Just a little dude, but I'll take it. Not a giant, but a good bass. Let's go again. Another one just showed itself. Come on, eat it. one just boiled right there. All right, here we go. On the lunch menu today, Steph packed me a pretty sweet little lunch. We've got some of her homemade ham and a little bit of veggies. I'm gonna probably pound this. And then, yeah, we might go look deep. The frog bite didn't die, it's just pretty windy on this part of the lake. I tried some swim jig, I tried some other things, kind of just caught them junk fishing around. I'm gonna go see if they're a little bit offshore, maybe like on the outside weed line, but we'll eat some lunch and keep moving on. Here we go. Drop shot fish. All right, little outside weed line drop shot fish. Today is definitely turning into a junk fishing kind of day. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. And that's what kind of this weird time in spring is all about. You got some fish way up tight eating the frog. You got some fish on the pad line eating a swim jig. You got some fish on the outside weed line eating a drop shot. You got some fish on the inside weed line eating a Cinco. They're just, it's not like they're in one specific area doing one specific thing. They're just a little bit all over. This warm weather, some of them are already post-spawn. I'm sure there's definitely some that are pre-spawn. There's probably some even out there laying on bed. Just a little pink robo worm. Swim jig. They're in that pondweed, just scrunching on the swim jig. Just got one on the drop shot, now one on the swim jig. There's some wind here, so I'm just kind of playing into the wind, reeling that swim jig right on top of all that pondweed. Something I can actually get through there and fish it. There's some hard bottom and sand spots mixed into there, and I can't hit it with anything finesse, so I just got to kind of roll over top of it with a swim jig. The flip-flop tan is almost back, and that's all she wrote. I just pulled the boat out. I'm gonna go meet up with Stephanie. We're gonna try a different lake. But talk about just a junk fishing type of a day. Caught bass on a spinnerbait, caught bass on a jig, caught a lot of bass on the swim jig, caught some better bass on the frog, caught a few on the drop shot, one on the shaky head, and some on the wacky rig Cinco. This is an odd time of year. Bass are doing a little bit of everything. They're definitely biting. The pondweed doesn't help, but sometimes you just gotta junk fish around and throw a little bit of everything. So yeah, this is where we're capping out. I'm still getting my bearings and knocking the rust off for bass fishing this year. But bass fishing's like riding a bike. It always comes back to you. So thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end. Once again, if you're interested at all in the Sexy Vexy, hit up my buddy Brian. Here's his number right here. And yeah, I guess there's nothing left to be said than stay tuned. And as always, let the adventure begin.
Move ahead, oh my pretty babe. Something ain't right. Got to find a way to move ahead. Oh my pretty babe.